Hello everyone and welcome to my Genshin Impact video segment, which I like to call the Elemental Experiment, where we feature a character build and dive into one of the most fascinating mechanics in Genshin Impact, the elemental reactions. But before we delve deeper, please don't forget to follow, like and share the page and video for more Genshin Impact content and other wacky gaming videos. Now, without further ado, let's get right to it. Today, we're going to feature the electrifying, scantily clad sea waifu, Beidou. This serpent-slaying one-eyed pirate has two huge assets in her repertoire. No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about her elemental skill, Tide Color, which resembles Meliodas' full counter for all of you 7 Deadly Sins fans out there, and her elemental burst, Stormbreaker, which summons 2 dragons that constantly spew out lightning. Personally, I think she is the most fun character to play with, as her main damage dealing skill, Tide Color, requires a certain amount of timing to effectively pull off. I could try to describe how it works, but there are a lot of other videos out there that do a better job at explaining it, so I'll leave it up to you to search for it. Beidou's skills apply the electro element on enemies, and this gives a lot of interesting elemental combinations. This time, I'm going to further expound on one of the particular builds which I like to call the Maelstrom. Maelstrom, which combines cryo, hydro, and electro elements together to form a deadly storm that is just fitting for the lightning goddess of the sea. Elemental reactions in Genshin Impact are activated when 2 of the 6 available elements are applied on a certain target to create a reaction. There are a total of 9 elemental reactions, but for the purpose of this video, we are going to focus on 3, namely Freeze, Electrocharge, and Superconduct. Freeze, as the name suggests, frees enemies solid and immobilizes them when Hydro and Cryo combine. Hitting a frozen unit with a greatsword gives bonus damage called Shatter. Electrocharge utilizes the Hydro and Electro combination to do damage over time on an affected individual. It also induces a Stagger, which briefly cancels enemy attacks. And finally, Superconduct amplifies the damage of normal attacks. With that said, it is important to constantly apply Hydro, Cryo, and Electro to achieve all 3 elemental reactions. For this build, we need support characters that can apply constant Cryo and Hydro elements on the enemy. The most free-to-play options are Kaya for Cryo and Barbara for Hydro. The last lot should preferably belong to another Cryo character so that we can take advantage of the Cryo elemental resonance. Please check out other videos regarding elemental resonance to learn more about the topic. The combo is as follows. Kaya uses his elemental burst, then Barbara's elemental skill, and finally use either Beidou's elemental skill or burst to apply lightning element on the enemy. Kaya's and Barbara's skill will freeze the enemy solid so that Beidou can start to launch her elemental skill, which produces Superconduct reaction that reduces the enemy physical defense. We can now start to chip into the enemy with some nice physical damage. While the freeze is on downtime, we can use the elemental reaction, Electrocharge, to provide damage over time and stagger the opponent. Just cycle through these elemental reactions until the enemy is defeated. The team that seems to work the best for me for this build would be Shanqiu, Ganyu, and Diona. Shanqiu provides constant water application through both his elemental and burst skill, while Ganyu's ultimate can last for an incredibly long amount of time within a really large radius. And even if we burn through Ganyu's skill, we can switch out to Diona's ultimate to give us another AoE cryo application to enemies. So in summation, I find this build an enjoyable one just because most enemies will be locked in either a frozen or staggered state and won't have a chance to deal damage. It is also free-to-play friendly in that it can be done using just 4-star characters. This is gonna be it for the video. Share, follow, and subscribe if you like it. and we'll see you on the next one.